All right, hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the channel, C4 Race. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of basic work on the Civic. It's been sitting for about 10 months or so. I had a little issues this morning, a little sneak peek coming up for you guys on that. But we were able to get it running and get it pulled into the garage. So today we're going to start with some window visors, some window deflectors. Alright, hey guys, so we're having some issues getting the Civic started today. It's been sitting for about 10 months or so I kind of expected some weird stuff. Battery's dead, had it charging. Now the fuel pump won't prime, but I think with on the HON data before I stored it, I disabled the fuel pump. So we're going to log into the ECU and verify that I've got everything turned on.
About after an hour, we found out that it's just the battery. We got fuel pump now. Yeah, we good.
All right, so it looks like the battery was just too low in voltage to get the fuel pump to fire, so we swapped out the battery, and let's see if it starts up.
Like a champ.
10 months, fired right up. So now we've got our little wind visors here. We'll kind of go on the car like so. But as you can see, the car used to have some on there and then they fell off. Previous owner ripped them off, something, I don't know what happened, but there's a bunch of junk left over that we got to clean up first. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some IPA and rag, and hopefully we'll be able to clean most of that up. Give us a nice surface for our new visors to hook onto. So the way that these attach is just some double-sided adhesive. Usually it's 3M. I got these off eBay, so they're probably just some crappy off-brand. We'll see how it goes, and we'll take it from there. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and get started with cleaning. So I've got my rag and some isopropyl alcohol. This should take care of any, adhesive residue, especially this stuff that's been sitting out in the sun for so long. It's all baked on, it's all crispy and crunchy. So you just put a little IPA on a rag, and then you just start rubbing away. So here you can see it's taken pretty much everything off. There's a little bit left over, so just a little bit of elbow grease and time. And here you can see all that junk is coming off onto the rag here, so we know that it's doing well. Alright, so we've got everything pretty well cleaned off now. I'm going to go ahead and grab my visor, make sure I get the right one here. Yep. So as you can see, this sits pretty flat, it's pretty straight, but the body line of the car curves a little bit. So if you just stick it on there, it doesn't look like it's going to fit quite right. So the way you got to do it is you just start with one side, and you kind of just work it across, and then it'll finally sit where it needs to. So now that we've got everything nice and cleaned off, we're going to get this adhesive taken off the back. Go. And then we'll just start from the front here just to make sure it sits where it needs to. So that looks pretty good, nice and flush with the top. And now I'll just slowly work my way up. Alright, now that's mostly on there, but you see it's trying to peel up a little bit on this side. So what we'll do is we'll just continue adding some pressure. Let that adhesive really bond onto the side of the car, and then we should be good to go from there. So, like I said earlier, these are from eBay, so the quality is not super great, and they're molded flat where the body line's kind of curved. So you had to manipulate it a little bit getting it up here, but it also caused kind of this push out side here. So one way that you can get around that is you can relieve some of the stress and remold this a little bit by heating it up. So I'm going to grab my heat gun here, and we're just going to run it back and forth over it. Be very careful not to catch anything on fire. And then essentially I'm going to take my rag and we're going to push and bend it, and then when it cools it'll hold that shape. I'm really focusing on the curves there, because that's right where I'm going to bend it. And you see the plastic's moving a little bit because it's relaxing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to reshape that. Press in on the top, press in on the bottom, and you can see it really starts taking the shape that we want it to. And we'll kind of just run back and forth and manipulate it a little bit as we go, just to make sure it stays right where we want it. There we go. Now it's tucked in all nice to the car. Alright, so we've got the heat gun treatment done. I did run a little bit of heat along where the adhesive sits, so that helps the adhesive really bond onto the car. We were able to reshape this, and you can see there's still just a little bit of wiggle there, a little bit of gap, but overall nothing too bad. Overall impressions of it is, you know, it is eBay. I didn't pay a whole lot for it, so I didn't expect much. But overall, with a little bit of heat gun work on it, I think it came out great. So I'm looking forward to driving these things down the road and not getting rained on. All right, thanks for coming along with us today. Definitely, if you have any comments or questions about this, leave it in the comments below. Also, feel free to give us a like and subscribe. Next up, we're going to be doing a little bit of electrical inside the cabin. We're going to replace the radio with a newer unit that will have Bluetooth and hands-free. And then we're also going to remove the remote start that the previous owner put on this, so then we can actually start the car with the key again. Thanks again, and let's keep rolling.